My father was, and still is, a brilliant storyteller. He would sit on my bed when I was a little girl, and he would read the most magical fairy tales to me. When he reads, the characters come alive, and they would fly into my bedroom and take me on adventures to see castles and kings and trolls and wizards. They became my imaginary friends, and I could play with them for hours. Later, as I began reading myself, my joy of books made me take a job at the school library when I was only 12 years old to be the first kid to get a hold on new books. I remember dragging my finger on the back of the books of my favorite authors, leaving a bit of a dustprint behind, and dreaming that one day, too, I could become an author, to open up imaginary worlds for children to find joy in. Living with and making imaginary characters come alive has been a big part of my life. So today, I want you to meet one of my fiction friends. I hope you can soon be able to hear her, maybe see her, and feel her, because she has a very important message for all of us here. Momo is a character out of a fiction fantasy novel from 1973, written by the German author Michael Ende, who's also the author of The Never-Ending Story. He wrote it the same year my husband was born. Momo is a very special child, and she has inspired me so much that I have named an entire academy after her, the Momo Academy. So let me see if I can bring her alive here on stage with me today, as my father helped me do when I was a little kid. So Momo is about this tall. She has dark, curly hair, big, beautiful eyes, big smile, thin but strong, often seen wearing a brown men's jacket. If you ask her how old she is, she will say, "As far as I know, I've always been around." And that is sort of how I feel too. We meet her on a sunny day in an old theater outside an Italian village, bathed in sunlight. Momo has no parents. She lives on her own, and she takes very good care of herself. She decides to move into that theater. And the people of the town soon find her and decide to take care of her. They're good people. They bring her food. They even bring her an old bed inside that theater. And they soon find that she's joyful company. They visit her again and again at the theater. The children love to come and play with her. And when she plays with them, she opens up these imaginary worlds for children to find joy in and play in for hours. And the adults like to come and chat with her. Soon, the word gets around town that whenever somebody has a problem, people say, "Why don't you go see Momo?" And they do. And they sit with her. And magic happens. Because Momo has a very rare superpower that not many people today have. She's a very good listener. She pays attention, she's curious, and she's present. She also listens to the trees, the stars, the moon, and she can hear the songs of the universe. But one day, everything begins to change. Creepy feeling running down Momo's spine. It gets colder and more gray. It feels like a thick blanket is laying over a town. Contaminating, disease, making everybody feel sick, stressed out, depressed, and anxious. It is the work of the gray men who have made it their business to steal people's time. See, they will make a deal with you. "Save up time with us, and you will have much more time in the future," they say. And when they've made a deal with you, they vanish and make you believe that that whole time-saving idea was all your own. so nobody asks any questions. They also get to Momo's friends, and eventually they stop coming to see her. Even the children stop coming to see her. The adults are too busy saving up time for the future. They work more, they optimize, and they sleep less. They also put their elders in homes, so they don't have to take care of them. They stop painting and doing arts, stop playing music. They give up their pets. They stop playing with their children, and they buy them mechanic toys to entertain them. And worst of all, they take them to the child depots so that they can work more and save up time for the future. Now, the wise little Momo sees through all of this, and she worries. Change is happening so fast. It feels like her friends don't care anymore. They only think about themselves. So together with the slowest of animals, a turtle named Cassiopeia, she sets on a quest to bring back the stolen time, in a hope that it will also bring back the joy, the songs, and the music that her friends seem to have forgotten. When I was a little kid, my father would read me scary stories too. He would pause, and then I knew that he was reading ahead to see if the story would be too scary for me to listen to, and I would beg him to continue. And I still remember my mother saying, when those imaginary worlds would get a bit too real for me, she would say, "It's only fiction, Gitte. It's only fiction." My parents taught me the difference between reality and fiction, and I believed them. So what is so scary about Michael Ende's prediction 45 years ago is that what was a fantasy fiction novel back then has become our harsh reality today. Every time I read the book, I try to say to myself, it's only fiction, Gitte. But it isn't, is it? The gray men are here. This is real. They are sucking the joy out of life of the people we love all around us. They are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. We are a whole generation of stressed out, depressed, and anxious parents. The WHO is predicting stress and depression to be the biggest disease worldwide by 2030. This is real. How many in this room have felt stressed out, depressed, or anxious, or know somebody who has the past year? See? It's like people don't know where to go to plug in anymore, to find joy. I bet you're wondering right now, who are the gray men in your life? Who is stealing your time? They are in my life too. If I don't pay attention, they make me run faster too. They also try to get to my husband, to my friends, to my sister, to my children. One of the most scary parts about Michael Ende's prediction, in my view, is the reality of the child depots of today. See, I strongly believe in my heart that all children are born as love and light, but that is not what I see when I walk into a schoolyard or a kindergarten, the child depots of today. That's not what I see. As more and more parents are stressed out, more and more children are fragile, vulnerable, and sick. Growing up in a child depot is a scary thing. They are dropped off early in the morning, picked up late in the afternoon, completely nature deprived. Too many children stuffed in a tiny room with too few adults to take care of them. No wonder they get sick. Then we take them to the doctor. He gives them some drugs and stamp them in the forehead with a letter combination that basically spells failure. Not good enough. Not good enough to keep up with society, a society on speed, a speed that is making us sick. We make our children believe that there is something wrong with them. One of the first ways we see these imbalances in children is in their inability to fall asleep naturally. Children today in general sleep 1 hour less than we did 25 years ago. And children need their sleep for so many reasons: to grow their bodies, build their muscles, store memories, fight off diseases. I believe we've only seen the beginning of problems related to sleep deprivation among children, obesity being one of them. When I ghost wrote a book for students to prevent stress, I was shocked to see the scary statistics of young people and children with stress, depression, all sorts of mental health issues. And mind you, I come from Denmark, and we're supposed to be one of the happiest nations in the world, so I don't even dare to think how these statistics look in other countries. So I looked at my 2 girls, who were 3 and 6, and I asked myself, what do I need to teach you so that you'll find balance in life, so that you won't be disconnected? I wanted to be with them. I wanted to spend my days with them. I wanted to connect with them. I wanted them to connect with themselves, with their hearts, with each other, with us as parents, with the planet, with the oceans, the stars, the moon. I wanted my children to hear the songs of the universe. So when Momo set out to bring back the stolen time to the people, together with the little turtle, she went to see Master Horror, who is the keeper of all time. And Master Horror explains that time is life, and life exists inside our hearts. See, the reason the gray men are stealing our time is because they don't have any hearts. And inside our hearts, we have a flower, a time flower. And as long as there are still leaves left on that flower, we still have time. As the gray men don't have any hearts, they don't have any flowers, so they steal our time flowers, and they dry them up and smoke them in the cigars. And that's the reason why that gray blanket is laying over a town, and the smell of cigar is everywhere. When I found out the relationship between sleep and the heart and our time, I thought about Momo, and I thought about all the courage that she had in her heart to go out and bring that stolen time back to the people. And I felt such a strong desire to teach my children about heart energy. So one night, I sat down with them. Now I was the mother, telling them stories, sitting on their bedside, trying to make the characters come alive. And I told them child meditations, heart meditations. I told them about their love mountain. I told them how to go inside their love mountain and find their hearts and fill themselves up with love. So in the months to come, they would ask for these meditations every night. They still do. And in those months, we would explore the many ways of loving, filling up our hearts with love, sending love, receiving love, even on a distance, and sending love into the universe. And then I listened. Inspired by my friend Momo, I was curious. I paid attention, and I was present. And they would tell me the most profound stories. It felt like they were sharing wisdom from their souls. When I teach them these meditations or read them to them, it feels like I open up a space in front of my body, and I fill this space in front of my body with energy of love, harmony, peace. And it feels like they crawl into that energy space, and they find peace. It almost feels like they crawl back into my tummy, and I feel so connected with them, meeting them heart to heart at bedtime. It also had a very big effect on their sleep. So they would fall asleep while I was reading these or telling them these meditations. Again and again, anywhere, anytime, I could make them sleep. I found the secret sleeping method. Of course, that was a huge help for me as a mother. And it made me think about the relationship between time, love, and connection. So could it be that we sleep better when we are connected to our hearts? And could it be that when we sleep better and more, we make better choices the next day and have more energy to pursue happiness? Could it be that the sleep deprivation we see among children today is really a result of disconnection? Could it be that we feel we have more time when we are connected to our hearts? Is time really a feeling? My grandfather, who was a watchmaker, used to make us appreciate time, and he would stand up at all family reunions and he would recite a poem. "The empty, unused days we'll never get back," he said. He made us appreciate time. Did he, by saying empty and unused, really mean disconnected? Thinking back at this, my grandfather reminds me of Master Hora. When he helped Momo out, he made time stand still so that she could operate. When I think back at all those summer vacations at my grandparents' house by the sea, it felt like time stood still and summer would go on forever. So it made me think, what if we could have all children all over the world sleep more? What would happen if they would fall asleep inside their little love mountain while filling their hearts with love? What would happen if all parents all over the world would teach their children to truly love themselves and how not to lose that connection to their hearts? How would that change the world? So I decided to share my stories with other parents. As more and more parents are desperate to help their children to sleep, they find books like mine on the shelves of the libraries where my dream of once becoming an author was born. Each night, thousands of children fall asleep inside the little love mountain. My books are read in more than 20 countries. The mothers who help their children fill up their hearts with love are the real heroes here, the real Momos. See, I know that there is a Momo inside all of us. I know that there are Momos among here in the audience today. I know that you are here to be inspired by ideas worth spreading. You too want to make changes in this world. So the other day, a 7-year-old girl walked up to me and she said, "Gitte, now that I know my love mountain, do you think I can make the scratches on the surface of my heart go away?" And I said, "Yes, I know you can." And I asked her to turn up the love even more. So tonight, when you come home, I encourage you to find your inner Momo. Place your ear on the chest of your child and listen to that heartbeat. And cherish that you still have time, that there are still leaves left on your time flowers. I do this almost every evening, and then I'm reminded what is truly important to me and how I want to spend the next day. When that beautiful morning sun rises above the ocean, and I'm lucky to still be here. So please, go home, listen to your child, and take back your stolen time. Thank you.